single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hello, my loves. Monique Christine here, and welcome to my Intro to Yin, the Asanas series. In this series, I break down the individual Yin yoga postures for you so that you guys have a nice, strong foundation, whether you choose to create your own flows or should you choose to flow along with me. In this video, we're going to be discussing one of my favorite Yin postures, Melting Heart, Anahatasana. This is similar to half down dog or puppy dog or extended puppy, Uttanasana Shosana. Okay? This is a really nice back bend for the upper and middle back. It's going to open up your shoulders. It's going to soften your heart. And who couldn't stand a softer heart, right? I'm sure we could all stand to warm it up just a little bit. This is really great after a series of forward bends. It's a great warm-up for deeper back bends, and it's a mild compression for the lower spine and, the upper. Okay, now, one thing that we do want to be cautious of when we're in this pose is going to target the shoulder and humerus joints. So you may encounter tingling. If you feel tingling, you need to readjust yourself. Tingling is normally a sign that we are compressing something, a nerve, a blood vessel, something. We're compressing something that we don't want to, okay? We are not going to continue to compress it, all right? Because that could create temporary or permanent long-term damage, okay? And we definitely don't want to hurt ourselves. We're trying to get healthy, not broken, right? So make sure that you're paying attention to that. If you do encounter some tingling or some compression, you should be able to move your arms out a little further to get around that. If you're not able to, this pose can be done with one arm forward while you rest your head on the other, okay? But you should be all right. What you want to do is listen to yourself. I'm not there with you. Always trust yourself. Your yoga should be uncomfortable but never painful, okay? That's one thing that a lot of people misunderstand about yoga. Yoga should never be painful. It should just be uncomfortable. You want to find that comfortable edge, okay? Where we're doing some work, not too much to where it hurts, but we definitely don't want to go too easy in the pose and not stretch anything, all right? Now, this is a yin posture, so we will be holding it anywhere 3 to 5 minutes, or depending on your practice, you may want to hold it for much longer. We want to make sure that we're comfortable in this pose, okay? Because yin is going to target the deeper tissues, the joints. It's a safe way to exercise your joints, all right? So it's not a race. 3 to 5 minutes is more than enough time for your body to open up and for you to sink deeper into the pose, all right? So you definitely don't want to hurt yourself by trying to go too far too fast. Just listen to yourself. Surrender. Allow yourself to be where you are. Your flexibility will change from day to day. One side will be more open than the other. That could switch. So, definitely don't judge yourself. Just accept where you are and allow yourself to sink in, and I promise you'll open up, okay? So let's get into it. To get into this pose, we want to come into a tabletop position on the hands and knees, all right? We want to not really throw. We want to make sure that these knees are about hip width apart. Knees right under these lovely hips, and we're going to park these wrists under these shoulders, okay? Now when I peek between my thighs, peek through this gap, I don't see my feet. I don't want my feet together. I don't want them out. I want them nice and lined up, all right? Now, what we're going to do is we are going to walk our hands forward, but we want to keep the hips above the knee, okay? So slowly walk your arms forward, let your chest sink down, let your head come to your mat. You want to keep your arms about shoulder width apart, but if you are experiencing compression or tingling, move them out a little further and you should be fine. Like I said, this pose can be done with one arm up, and you can rest your head on the other one. And then when you've had enough of that one, you can swap it. Okay? The name of the game is to be comfortable and to sink into this pose. Since we will be here for 3 to 5 minutes, you want to go ahead and protect yourself where you can. So if this is uncomfortable under your knees, all you want to do is slide a blanket or a towel under them. I've got my trusty Mexican yoga blanket, but any blanket will do. And I just put it under those lovely knees. And we've got some great padding. And then I'm just going to check my alignment. And I'm going to come right back down into that pose. Resting my forehead on the mat. Now, if you are flexible, you can rest your chin on the mat, but this could strain the neck. Personally, I'm not there, so I'm going to rest my lovely forehead on my mat. And I'm just going to do my full body scan as I take my deep breaths. I'm breathing deeply to allow my body and my mind to relax. Allow myself to sink deeper into the pose. And doing my full body scan, I just want to check and make sure that I feel no tense areas in my body. Now your feet, you can have them resting with the tops on the mat, or if it's more comfortable for you, you can absolutely tuck your toes. It's personal preference. I prefer to rest mine nice and simple. Remembering to breathe. Still scanning. My thighs tend to get tight in this pose. So while I'm breathing, I want to focus on my legs and try to breathe into my legs. And if you've never taken a yoga class before, I'm sure you're like, what the heck? How do you breathe into your legs? You really just focus all your energy to that area that you want to relax. With every inhalation, we're bringing in lots of clean, fresh air to the area, oxygenating it beautifully. And with each exhale, we are getting rid of those toxins and we are just letting ourselves relax. Now, as you begin to sink deeper, you can listen to yourself and readjust. You just want to listen to yourself, okay? If you're not comfortable, you can absolutely lay a bolster or a pillow under your chest. I'm going to come up slowly because I was starting to get pretty deep into that one. So I'm just going to take my bolster right here and sink down. Beautiful. come out of the pose, we'll simply walk our hands back. And we can come into child's pose. Sitting back down onto the heels, resting the head on the mat with the hands beside our feet. We allow the shoulders to roll over the sides of the knees. And we put a slight rounding in that lumbar sacral spine. Remembering to breathe deeply. Now, if you don't want to come back into child's pose from your Anahatasana, so if we are in the posture, you can instead come forward onto your belly and rest. And here I would probably come into a reverse corpse, just to let those shoulders roll over and relax. And when you're ready, go ahead and push yourself back. And there we have it. Anahatasana, similar to the half down dog or puppy or extended puppy, Uttanashishosana. Melting hearts all around the world. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Namaste.